Hi everyone, welcome to Tom's Manshed. Now this is an addition that I've just decided to make as an addition to the previous one I did on fitting a spare wheel kit to an MG4. Now I suggest if you haven't seen that, watch that first because this one will make a lot more sense if you see that first. So if you click the tag up here, have a look at that. It's about fitting my spare wheel from my ZS EV, which I sold, and I kept the spare wheel kit, to the MG4, which isn't designed for a spare wheel. It goes into how I've adapted the boot to do that. Also for the reasons that I don't like a inflator kit that puts foam in your tyre and does it. I much prefer a spare wheel. So all the details on that are in that. But what I was hoping to do in this video, at the end of that video, I mentioned that I'm going to get myself a bottle jack instead of using the scissor jack that comes in the spare wheel kit, because it's a lot easier. And what I'd planned on doing in this video was timing the two of them. I'd set the camera up and I was going to crank it up with the scissor jack and see how long it took me to get it up to the wheel above the ground ready to take off, and again how long to crank it down, and then compare it just to show you how easy it is with a bottle jack just by just doing a few easy pumps. But it all went pear-shaped because the bottle jack just is not suitable. This was the one I got, and I can't, and for reasons I'll explain very, very soon, no bottle jack will be suitable at all. So that's the one I got. Nothing wrong with it, so I'm not going to return it to eBay, and I'm just going to keep it for other purposes or whatever, coming on my other vehicle, my daughter's car and things. But it's not suitable for the MG4 to get the wheel off the ground to take it off. Like I say, you'll see it soon. That's the one that comes in the kit, the spare wheel kit. And that's the one I'm going to have to continue using. Like I say, check out the other video and it shows you in place and why I wanted this bottle jack. But also, I've made a couple of alterations to secure the floor of the boot a bit better before. It was still, I found before, when I was pulling the bags out, my canvas bags that I keep tools and things in the back, because it was only held down with Velcro on top of the tyre against the carpet of the boot floor, I felt it was still coming up. So I've now added some pieces of angle iron that coincide with the magnets on the boot floor. So first of all, before I get into the tyre and explain all that, let's have a look now at the alterations I've made to the boot floor to make it a lot more secure. Okay, so these are the alterations I've made. I'll show you close-ups later on, but I just wanted to show you this on the end of the last video where I just got the wooden side supports here. When I lifted one of these velcroed bags off, it could still pull the lid up because there was nothing holding it down other than some bits of velcro. So that's what I've altered, and you'll see with what in a second. So as I pull that off now, you can see there's nothing. And again, if I go over here, it doesn't pull that boot up at all. In fact, to pull that boot up, I'm pulling quite, I don't know whether you can see that, it released on the magnets then. And as I mentioned in the last video, the other video, what I've done this time, because these magnets are here, about, what, a couple of inches in from the side, they corresponded to like here, away from these wooden side supports I made. So what I've done now, as you can see, I've fixed some angle iron to it. Now this is quite thick stuff, bed iron. It is really, really hard to cut. It takes forever with a hacksaw and even with a grinding wheel. So if you're going to do it, I would recommend like a thin, if you can get hold of like a thin sheet steel, just like, you know, like a millimetre thick sheet steel that you could probably cut with tin snips, it'd be a lot easier. But they're quite hefty, solid steel side bits. It's just a white mark there, I don't know what it is. And they're bolted to them wooden side bits that are put on in the other video. And like I say, because they are sticking so much further in now, the magnet gets them about dead centre. Now the other thing, alteration I made, I did say at the end of the other video that I wanted to be getting a bottle jack because they're a lot easier than a scissor jack. So I put some more different piece of foam in there with room for the bottle jack, but that bottle jack is not suitable. It will not do the job, and I'll explain that shortly. So we're back to the scissor jack now, so I'm going to have to get another bit of foam or whatever and recut it again to store the scissor jack, because this is not a solution, as you'll see shortly. But I've put some more sort of a bit more there, and I've tidied up them back pieces. They're a lot thicker now than they were. So that is sort of like the boot, apart from the jacking solution done. And like I say, if I put it in right up to there, you can hear it go down onto the magnets. You press it right down on them. Shut down. And that is, like I say, that is pretty solid. That is, I'm really pulling quite hard. There's no way you could inadvertently lift that up for that. Oh, really. So that's solidly held down, that's going nowhere. So yeah, boot solution done, apart from the jack. And then just put the bags back as they were, Velcro on there. And I've still got tons of room for me shopping. So as you saw there, the boot is now great. There's no chance of it coming loose when you lift anything out of it or anything. It's really, really good. And as you saw in place was this. Now the reason you can't use this, unfortunately, is because, again, I'll show you on the video very soon, I sent off for that. I thought that's not much, that area there. Just make this on. That's not much of an area to get against the metalwork. It's quite small. So I got one of these pucks. I've sawn that down again. I'm going to show you why in a minute. Because it was twice as thick at first. But when you've got it on there, even with that screwed fully down, and that gives you extra height, which would be useful if you could still get it under the car. But you can't. You need it on its minimum to get it under the car and get the puck in. And then when you pump this up to its full extent, which is about here, it's just not high enough to lift the wheel off the ground. So I'm going to show you that in detail. I didn't film that because I thought I'm going to have a practice first to see how quick it is, and then I'll set the camera up to on a tripod to film the two jacks. But like I say, I got it up to its full extent. I had to cut this down to squeeze it in, as you'll see. And then after this bit of filming, I got it up to its full extent, and it just, the tyre was still making contact with the ground. You need that extra room that the scissor jack gives you. So a trolley jack will lift it, plenty of travel on that, but too big to carry a trolley jack around. A bottle jack won't. A bigger bottle jack would, but then you wouldn't get the bottle jack itself under. So it's my mistake for not measuring what the required distances were. Like I say, that ideally it would be shorter so you could get it under better, but of course then your hydraulic ram is going to be even shorter, not lift it up. So there's no way any bottle jack is going to be suitable for lifting this car. You need to lift it too much of a travel and to get a bigger one up. So let's just have a look now at me showing you where the ideal jacking point is. It's the jacking point shown, the little arrow, and just right in line with that there is a grommet. And what you'd normally do, take that grommet out, and you can get a jacking jack plate, or whatever you call it, jacking bush or whatever, like a Tesla one, which will go in there. It's like one of these with a hump on the back, and that hump locates in that hole. I'll put a picture up here of one. So you can see there it's got like a hump on the top of it, and that will go in the hole in the chassis and stop this, any chance of it slipping. and yet the whole load around is spread out, and that's a sort of jacking pad that ideally you'd want for it. But this will be okay for now when I use the scissor jack. But let's have a look. Like I say, it took me just about being able to squeeze this under once I'd cut this. Okay, as you can see here, with the puck as they are, it's too wide to go. There's not enough room between the end of the bottle jack, and that's at its lowest, and the metal of the car under there. I just cannot get it in, so I'm going to have to saw this down. These slots aren't of any use to me, because if you have a look as it goes over, if you do put them over there, it's all the weight is still on this lip. This bit of the puck, the rubber, doesn't contact the metal above it, so you're lifting the full weight of the car on that seam there, as you are with the scissor jack. So I didn't think that was a great idea. So the actual jacking point on these is that thing there. That's right opposite the hole for the jacking point. It's like a Tesla. It's a bung. You can take that bung out, leaving a hole, and you can get a special jack that goes, a special puck that goes in that hole for it. But like I say, now I've got this, I'm just going to make it a bit thinner and sew a chunk off it so it'll fit. So let's do that now. You can see it a bit better there against the white background. So that slot there, when you put it over the weld, the seam sort of weld of the car, there's still a gap between here, the top surface, and the metal, so the full weight of the slot, the full weight of the car is on that thin sort of weld seam there. So I'm going to cut this in half now, so I've just got like basically half a puck, but it's rock hard rubber, so it's still going to have enough support, and we'll see if that fits the bottle jack. So then I cut the puck, which wasn't that easy. I did it with me sabre saw. You could do it with a big hacksaw. I cut it right down. It's not the neatest of jobs, but it's fine. You can see the impact under there made by the top of the bottle jack, but it nowhere near went through it. So there was plenty of support there as it was lifting. And like I say, it's a real shame, because I wanted to show you how, if you've never seen, some people may have never seen a bottle jack, how easy they are. And it's just a simple matter of doing that. You can see it going up there. And even with a weight on it, you don't have to push down much more than I'm doing now. It's an absolute doddle. Whereas with the scissor jack, once it's got some weight on it, it is quite hard to turn. You've got to have quite a lot of energy in your hands, and if you've got weaker arms or whatever, you might struggle. A lot of these scissor jacks are pretty poor quality. I've seen loads and loads and loads on various cars I've had, going from really good ones to really naff ones. This looks a pretty good one. So plenty of weight to it. It went up when I did my other video, when I actually changed the spare wheel. Like I said, check on the other video. It's very smooth in operation. I don't think there'll be any problem with it collapsing or anything like that. It does feel a nice jack. But that's how I'm going to have to use it. So I'll just show you in close up here the difference in height that they'll go between the minimum and the maximum. So you can see the difference. We've got a full 36 centimetres or 14 inches on the scissor jack, and it's still not fully up. I could get even more on that, but that'd be plenty. And yet the full height of the bottle jack is only 28 centimetres, 11 inches. So as you said, just not enough to lift the wheel off the floor. And the bottom measurements. And on the minimum, you see we've got 7 inches on the bottle jack, and only 5.5 inches on the scissor jack. So yeah, it looks like I'll be having to use the scissor jack. So that's why I won't be able to use it. Use the bottle jack. So I'll just nearly finish now. Just show you the boot now with it readapted again to carry the scissor jack around, and I'm still going to carry the bottle jack as well, which I mentioned in this. Let's have a look at the final thing before we put the boot floor in. Okay, so this is it after altering it again to make it fit the scissors jack. A bit more cutting out of the foam there. It's where I had it before, if you remember the last video, if you check that out, but it's a different orientation. It's on its side, but it doesn't matter as long as it's held. So that's in there. Them sides are solid. I'm going to still carry that puck, the sawn down puck, because I'll put that on top of the scissor jack if I'm using it in that jacking point I told you. That was the mark left by the bottle jack there. So I'm going to leave that in there. That's the bottle jack handle, because I've decided to just still carry that. It's not taking any extra room in there that I could put anything else. So I've just tucked it in that corner. It's away from all the cables. It's not going to catch any cables. And it'll be handy in there in case my daughter ever rings me or something. Dad, I've got a puncture and I can't get my wheel off and things like that. So got both in there now, bottle jack and the scissor jack, but it's the scissor jack we're obviously going to have to be using. So that's going to be it now. No more alterations to the boot. I'm happy with it all now. So hopefully I never get a puncture, but there we go. So there you have it. Yeah, shame I can't use it, but like I said, I'll either carry on carrying it around because it will come in handy, like I say, if my daughter rings it, what she is always doing when she can't get a wheel off or anything like that. Or I might even put it in my Scorpion, my kit car, and I've got a scissor jack in there at the moment. This might be better for that. I'll test if it lifts the Scorpion enough, or I can get it underneath that. But like I say, I'm not returning it because there's nothing wrong. I don't want to get my money back off the seller or anything. He's done nothing wrong. It's just my fault entirely for not measuring the minimum and the maximum requirements. So never mind. So that's why I just done this video, really, just to warn you that if you're thinking the same as me to get a bottle jack, don't bother. It's a pity because I was going to do that race and I would have been interested to see the difference in time. So hopefully it's been of some use, and like I say, I wanted to show you the extra modifications I made with the metal plates to hold the magnets. But I'm happy now. I feel a bit more secure carrying a spare wheel than I did before. So, like I say, hopefully it's been of some use to you. If it has, please give it a thumbs up. Love some more thumbs up on my videos. Got a couple in the pipeline. I'm going to be doing one I've been filming for the past 2 weeks on a weed killer. A certain weed killer I've used that I will definitely recommend. But it's going to be more of a sort of a time-lapse thing over 2 weeks, showing its effectiveness. And I've got one coming up on a beard trimmer. I know I haven't got a beard, but it's a nose and ear trimmer as well that I picked up the other day from Lidl. So loads more in the pipeline. Hope you've enjoyed watching this and it's been of some use. If you have, please subscribe as well as the thumbs up, which would be very much appreciated. If you haven't already done, please subscribe by clicking the little picture here of the shed, and once you've done that, click the little bell icon below and you'll be alerted to any new uploads, and I shall see you for the next one very, very soon. Bye for now.